I do know that I'm not going to resist my treatment, and I'm not going to resist what I need to do and get to do to try and make myself better.
I'm strong, and I am free, got my own identity, so fear you will never be welcome here.
Good day, YouTube. Today I want to talk about hair. You know who's not concerned about hair? This one. No concerns about hair at all. Not at all. I'm actually not concerned about hair either, but I do want to talk about it because over the past, yesterday I started noticing if I just do this, I pull out like 3 or 4 hairs, and that's not typical. Today I brushed my hair, and I'll put up a picture of the brush and how much hair came out. It was a lot. I've never seen that happen before. And the topic of hair and cancer is very personal and individual. I often look to other patients' stories to get an idea of like what to expect or what might be happening. And I looked at this 24-year-old patient's story who had ovarian cancer, and she was very resistant to shaving her head as her hair thinned. And when they shaved her head, she was holding someone's hand, another person was shaving her head, and she was crying. This was very hard on her. And then there was another patient story of a woman that was my age, and she had a head shaving party where she let her friend shave her hair, and she felt that cancer was controlling her life, so she took control of when she was going to lose her hair, and that made her celebrate what was going on. For me, I felt the most uncomfortable when I didn't know how I was going to decide to treat my cancer with functional or traditional chemotherapy. So what I felt good about is I made that decision, and that was that. And in general, I don't think that anything is really controlling me. I feel that I have decisions to make all the time, and there's things that I get to do. I don't have to do chemotherapy or functional medicine. I get to do chemotherapy or functional medicine. And for me, I had more options than most people would even know. So I don't have to do anything. I could just let cancer run its course, and this would be that. I get to treat it because I want to and because I have options. So along with that treatment, I do know that if I choose chemotherapy, which I did, that I would most likely lose my hair. And I was brushing my hair, and I was like, it's kind of weird, right? Like to see that much hair, but I knew it would happen. And I looked at it and I thought, well, you know what? That's kind of good, because I didn't have a lot of reactions to the first round of chemotherapy. So I was getting afraid, like, I don't even know if it's working. Is it even killing cells in my body? I don't know. But the hair cells are dying, and they're falling out. So that means that the chemotherapy is killing cells, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. I would hate to be taking this toxic substance into my body and for nothing, like it didn't do its job. Like I know it's doing something now because I'm losing my hair. So that to me was a good thing. And the other thing is the 24-year-old was resisting, shaving her head. And something in my mental training that I've learned along the way is that there is pain in resistance. So there's two things here. You don't have to do anything. You get to do things. You get to make a treatment choice, and you get to let the therapy work, etc. And then the other thing is that there is pain in resistance. So, of course, there's some things you would want to resist in your life, but there are things you can't control. I cannot control that I got cancer. I don't know why that happened to me. I don't know why somebody else dies in a car accident, or that some people live a very long life and then suffer tremendously for the last 5 years of it because they have multiple illnesses and they're just basically waiting to die. I don't know why these things happen the way that they do, but I do know that I'm not going to resist my treatment, and I'm not going to resist what I need to do and get to do to try and make myself better. When you resist it, there's pain. So she was holding someone's hand and she's crying. What happens when you cry? You get a lump in your throat, your chest is tight, you're not breathing, you're having a physiological response to the mental idea in your head. So I understand like hair can be part of someone's identity. I'm not negating that at all, but there is pain and resistance. It's just you're going to have a new identity for a little while. Your hair will grow back, and that's how I feel about it. So I was happy to see my hair falling out because it meant that the treatment was working, thank goodness. And I will have a new identity for a while, but my hair will grow back, so I'm not super concerned about it. Another thing that came up around the topic of hair with the woman that was my age, she had a couple young children of her own, and when she would go to school events, some children wouldn't say anything, and then some kids would be like, what happened to your hair? They're curious and they're learning and they're, innocent, they're trying to understand, and would just straight out ask her, what happened to your hair? But I also imagine that adults are feeling those same things. Some are just shying away from it, and some just want to come out and start talking about it. And I wanted to offer a way to approach someone that has either been gone for a long time because of an illness and they're coming back into your life, or they're, have cancer, now they're bald, etc. So what you could say is, it's good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. And this has been my preference because for many, many years, a decade or so, I struggled with fatigue, debilitating kind of fatigue where I didn't know how to stay awake most days. It was a struggle. And people would ask me, how are you? How are you feeling? And it just reminds me of how terrible I felt all the time. So I don't tend to offer that question to people. I just tell them, I'm happy to see you. Because I am. It's a genuine response. And it's a genuine way to welcome someone into your life or welcome someone into your day. Hi, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. The office hasn't been the same without you. It's good to have you back. Did you pick up any hobbies while you were gone? You can probably ask that because from my perspective, I don't have children. I'm isolating most of the time by myself, and I wasn't super sick, so I do have to find ways to pass my time. For other people, they might say, oh, no, I was sick for a while, and then, I had to get back into the grind with my kids, and I've just been trying to, manage my children and this and that, and I'm like, oh, what are they up to? What were you guys doing? And et cetera. And, you could lead into a conversation that way where it doesn't have to be this big fat elephant of, oh, they had cancer, oh, they're bald, kind of a thing. So I have felt that way around people that were not in the hospital, because in the hospital, I'm the nurse, I'm here to talk to you about your condition. There's no secret there. But when you're out in public, some people are very private, they don't want to talk about it, and some people like me are just like an open book, what do you want to know? I don't care. It's not a big deal. I put my body in a bathing suit on the internet for all of you to see, so there's no real secrets here. I'm okay with whatever you need to talk about, or if you're curious. But I particularly don't like the question, how are you feeling, or how are you today? I don't like either of those questions. They just kind of remind me of how bad I felt, and I genuinely feel really great right now. I would say I just was down for about 2 to 3 days, and I felt really great. I'm 98% at peace with my situation, and it's because I don't resist it. It's just something that I'm managing in my life as if I had a cold or a flu, and those are much more short-lived, but I'm just managing it, I go to appointments, I take treatments, and I live my life. I maintain connections with my friends and my family. Nothing else has really changed. I've just added a little something extra to my life for a short amount of time. And if it could be longer, at the end I'll get another CT scan and my CA-125, which is the tumor marker for ovarian cancer, and that will be my assessment and on if this, treatment actually worked. And that won't be until the end of January. So yeah, it's just a short amount of time in my life, and the treatments may get worse over time. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm 98% at peace. I am just managing my life as if it were any other thing. And you're welcome to speak to me. But I hope that this helped you with some of your loved ones, or, if you were curious about me and you know me personally. That's how I'm managing it. It's very personal for everybody. It's very individualized for everybody. I I choose peace. I do not choose to be upset about things that I cannot control. And there's a lot of stuff we can't control in life. We like to think that we can, but we can't. My risk on my life is, I guess I have more risk on my life because I could be, taken down by this cancer, or I can go, heal my cancer and then go for a drive and be taken out that way. We like to think that we're in control, or we know what's going to happen or how to do things, but we don't. We do what we can, we do our best, and you got to let all the other things go and just live your life and just be normal, you know. Don't take anything for granted, be happy when you're happy, acknowledge when you're sad and why it's making you sad. That's all okay. It's all just part of what we're doing. As always, I want all of you to have a wonderful day, and I always want you to take the best care of yourselves so that you can have more wonderful days. All right, guys, take care.